Customizing charts in CRM 2011. Charting basics. First of all, charts are always associated with a particular entity. Charts are displayed with views and within dashboards. In the case of a view, the chart is displayed based upon data from the displayed view, or the active view on the screen. And the default chart is the first name in the list based on the collating sequence. In dashboards, you must select the view and other options to use, and you also select the actual chart to use. Charts support something known as drill down, where if you click on a particular segment of the chart, it will filter the data in the current view to match what you've clicked on. The chart creation wizard supports a single series and category. More complex charts can be created by first using the wizard to create a new chart, then exporting the base chart, enhancing in the XML, and re-importing the modified XML. Chart properties. Under types, you can have column, bar, line, pie, and funnel charts. If you look down the page on the right-hand side under Advanced Options, you can also choose to do a chart that includes the bottom X or the top X number of items. You also have to define the legend or the series. In this particular case, we want them to count all cases. And on the horizontal category axis, by owner. So this would show the number of cases owned by the top 5 owners, and that's the description field. Chart creation. There are 2 kinds of charts based upon where the charts are created in the UI. There's system charts, which are created by a customizer, and personal charts, which are created by end users. System charts are those charts created via the customization interface. Such charts are available to all users authorized to see the entity, and they appear in the System Charts section of the chart selection list. They can be used as basis for creating system or personal charts, and are considered to be part of solutions if you want to include them. Personal charts, on the other hand, are created via the Entity View Charts tab. This is what the user is seeing when they're actually working on a particular entity. They're available to the creator, but the creator can also assign and share these charts with others. They appear in the My Charts section of the chart selection list, and they do not appear anywhere in the customization user interface list of entity charts, because they're not, strictly speaking, a system chart, and so they would not appear in the list of system charts. They also can be used as a basis for creating new charts, but only personal charts. So let's go and create a new system chart. So now let's create a new chart for a case. First I click on New. This will bring up the wizard. And I'd like to go ahead and set up a column chart. And I want it to be based upon active cases. And for the legend or the series, I'm going to just have it count the title of the case. But on the horizontal axis, I'm going to select owner. And it is now previewing what it would look like. Now, I also have the ability, if I don't like that look, to switch it from a column chart to a bar chart, which, by the way, switches that horizontal axis to vertical. And as you can see, it's counting, and so on. Or I could do this as a pie chart. And now I save and close, and I've created a chart. It's that simple. Customizing CRM 2011 dashboards. Dashboard basics. Dashboards are displayed in the dashboard section of My Work in the user interface. There's many out-of-box system dashboard examples, and the system dashboards may not be edited by a user, but you can copy them using a Save As and use them as a basis for a new dashboard. Now, when you save an existing dashboard using Save As, you will not be able to change the layout. You can only choose the layout when you are creating a new dashboard, and the Save As does not use that. A dashboard is a container for charts, lists or views, web resources, and iframes. The latter are considered extending CRM and are outside the scope of this segment. Dashboard properties. The layout, which must be selected when creating it the first time, is illustrated on the right-hand side, and there are 6 choices. You can then choose a name, a description, and then take the individual components and place them into the layout that you've chosen. And these components, again, include charts, lists, web resources, and iframes. Dashboard creation. There are 2 kinds of dashboards based upon where created in the UI. System dashboards and personal dashboards. System dashboards are created via the customization user interface and are available to all authorized users. They appear in the System Dashboards section of the selection list and are considered part of a solution. Personal dashboards are created via My Work and Dashboards or through the user interface rather than the customization interface. These dashboards will be available to the creator, but can be assigned and shared with other users. They will appear in the My Dashboard section of the selection list. And they do not appear in the customization UI list of dashboards. And they're not considered part of a solution because they are, in fact, end-user dashboards and not system dashboards. Customizing dashboards. Customizing a system dashboard requires you to go into the customization user interface and under Components, select Dashboards. This will give you a list of all the dashboards existing in the system. So let's take a look at an existing dashboard. So I'll open the Sales Activity Dashboard to give you a view. And as you can see, the different components are in each block of the layout. And so in this case, we have a chart which takes 2 rows and a single column, and then we have 4 other charts that are configured in here. As we scroll down, we'll see that there's also an activities list that has been put at the bottom. This is a really good example of the different types of things that you can do with a dashboard. So let's go ahead and create one of our own. So we'll come up and click New. We'll choose a 2-column regular dashboard. Click Create. This gives us the raw form, which will now let us go and do whatever we like. So we'll go ahead and choose a selection. This is our test dashboard. We'll add a chart. In this particular case, we'll just choose a case chart, and we'll take Resolve Cases and plug it in there. If I double click it, I can go back and review the options and so on. So here I'm going to go ahead and embed a list. So in this particular case, what I want to have would be my open cases. So I'll go down to Cases and I will select my active cases and click OK, and so on. And I can continue adding into each block as I move through to ultimately create my dashboard. But it's that simple. It's very straightforward. And we can also go out and change the width and height. So for instance, if I wanted to take this chart and decrease the width of this column, then I can do that. And then this gives me the ability to plug in some other pieces. Or I can increase the width. Which just caused it to move the rest of the chart over in that column. In any case, I suggest you play with them. They're very straightforward, and it's just a question of a little configuration. CRM 2011 resources. Downloads and links. First of all, the SDK is an excellent place for documentation and other information that you might need, and here's a download link for that. We also heartily recommend the following two books: Working with Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2011 on Microsoft Press, and Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2011 Administration Bible on Wiley. For blogs and forums, check out the Microsoft CRM Team blog and the Dynamics CRM forums. That's all we have for this segment. I hope you found it helpful. I'm Steve No. Have a wonderful day.